In the final months of World War II, the skies above Germany became the stage for a new kind of battle, not just between Allied and Axis forces, but between two generations of aviation technology. On one side was the American P-51D Mustang, a powerful piston engine fighter. On the other, Germany's revolutionary Messerschmitt Me-262, the first operational jet fighter. These aerial duels marked the twilight of one era and the dawn of another. By 1945, the P-51D Mustang had established itself as the backbone of the U.S. Army Air Force's escort fleet. Powered by a Packard-built Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, the Mustang reached speeds of up to 440 miles per hour, and thanks to external fuel tanks, could fly long-range missions from England to Berlin and back. The fighter's mission was encapsulated in its training manual, The Long Reach. Where the bombers go to bomb, the fighters go to protect them. Initially tasked with bomber escort, the P-51's role would soon evolve into a more aggressive strategy. Facing relentless bombing campaigns, the Luftwaffe introduced a radical new weapon in 1944, the Me-262, the world's first operational jet fighter. Twin-engine and capable of over 600 miles per hour in a dive, the aircraft could climb at an impressive 10 meters per second. German ace General Major Adolf Galland described flying the jet as, "It felt as if angels were pushing." Armed with 4 30mm cannons and up to 24 air-to-air rockets, the Me-262 was a formidable threat. In swift diving attacks, Me-262s could inflict heavy damage on bomber formations before Allied fighters had time to respond. If pursued, American pilots often had to jettison their fuel tanks just to keep up, shortening their mission range and leaving bombers vulnerable. Recognizing the threat posed by the Me-262, Allied air strategy shifted in late 1944. The U.S. 8th Air Force issued a new directive. The first duty of the 8th Air Force fighters is no longer to bring the bombers back alive, but to destroy German fighters. This offensive posture led to more direct engagements between P-51s and Me-262s, often in chaotic, high-speed combat above German cities. One such engagement occurred on April 10, 1945, when over 1,200 American bombers and 900 fighter escorts from the 8th Air Force crossed into German airspace. Lieutenant Walter Hagenah of Jagdgeschwader 7 was one of two. Me-262 pilots scrambled to intercept the formation. We received no instructions from the ground. Our task was simply to engage bombers over Berlin. Climbing to 5,000 meters, Hagenah spotted the bomber group at 6,000 meters and accelerated in a slight climb at 550 kilometers per hour. Everything seemed to be going smoothly until instinct kicked in. I had the old tingling in the back of the neck. I looked around and saw 6 Mustangs above, coming in almost head-on. At first, he believed they hadn't seen him, but moments later, they dove toward his position. As the Mustangs opened fire, Hagenah accelerated, refusing to turn, knowing that a turn would cost precious speed. I told my wingman to keep going, but he panicked and turned away. That was what the Mustangs were waiting for. Within moments, the American fighters pounced on Hagenah's companion, shooting him down. Hagenah, still flying level, watched as the Mustangs regrouped at 4,000 meters and began to head west. Seeking revenge, he gave chase. At a distance of 500 meters, the lead Mustang pilot rocked his wings, signaling that Hagenah had been spotted. Knowing that continuing the pursuit would likely result in a coordinated counterattack, Hagenah decided to strike first. I fired all 24 R-4M rockets and got lucky. 2 of the Mustangs were hit and went down out of control. Low on fuel, Hagenah turned back toward Cuthen Airfield. More P-51s appeared as he approached. In a tight, curving descent, he managed to confuse the attackers, who assumed he was initiating another offensive pass. I landed quickly before they started strafing the airfield. Fortunately, the flak defenses were still alert. I wasn't hit. By May 1945, the Allies had full control of the skies. The remaining Me-262s sat idle on German airfields, waiting to be captured. Though the jet fighter had arrived too late to alter the outcome of the war, it signaled a seismic shift in aviation. The technology behind the Me-262 would soon be studied, copied, and expanded upon in the Cold War era.